President Obama has been trying to appoint Richard Cordray as the head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Remember, the Republicans said they were not going to allow the nomination of Elizabeth Warren to go forward, so he took her down and he brought in Richard Cordray, which a lot of people like as a person who would do a very good job as the head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Even Republican Orrin Hatch says he's very qualified. We're just going to block everybody that's nominated because we don't like that law that was passed and we want to now retroactively change it, which of course is an outrageous thing to do. And we've been saying all along, just put them in there already. Do a recess appointment whenever they recess, and nothing will go wrong. What will happen? The Republicans will complain, and then that'll be that, and he'll be the head of the committee, and you won't lose a damn thing over it. And in fact, we said he should have done that with Elizabeth Warren, and he should have done it months ago, right? Well, it turns out today that's exactly what President Obama did. He said, Richard Cordray, you're in. I'm doing a recess appointment. And the Senate Republicans flipped out. They're like, what are you talking about? We're in pro forma session. We're not there, but we're pretending to be there. We're doing a gimmick, which the White House called them out on it, called it a gimmick, to where that we're not technically in recess. Oh, first of all, those gimmicks don't actually count. Presidents have gotten past those gimmicks before, and in fact, let me tell you the history of it. Truman did it twice, and one time Teddy Roosevelt, in a fraction of a day, did 160 recess appointments. The Republicans say, no. If we're doing these fake pro forma sessions, then we are actually coming back into session, wink, wink, every 3 days, and you can't do it in under 3 days. You have to have at least 10 days. That's what Mitch McConnell says. But here's the reality of McConnell's statement. Shockingly, you're going to find out that it's not true at all. That there is no such thing. There's no rule like that. It's not part of the Constitution. It's just like, oh, if you respect us, you should give us at least a 10-day recess before you make a recess appointment. But you don't respect him. You said you would not confirm any of his nominees to the head of this bureau. So why the hell should he respect you as you break law after law and rule after rule? So of course he should just go, yeah, here's what I think of you, Mitch McConnell. And that's what he did today, and the consequences will be that he will come out looking better than McConnell does. McConnell's outraged. He says, although the Senate is not in recess, President Obama, in an unprecedented move, has arrogantly circumvented the American people by recess appointing Richard Cordray as director of the new CFPB. But wait a minute. First of all, it's not unprecedented. As I just told you, Truman did it several times. Teddy Roosevelt did it for 160 people. Second of all, there's actually judicial opinion on this. It comes from the 11th Circuit. It's because the Bush administration did a recess appointment of Judge William Pryor, and that case went to court. It's called Edmonds versus Stevens. And here's what the court ruled to help the Republicans at the time, to say the Republicans were right at the time. Quote, the Constitution on its face does not establish a minimum time that an authorized break in the Senate must last to give legal force to the president's appointment power under the Recess Appointments Clause, and we do not set the limit today. That is the highest court that has ruled on it, saying there is no such thing as 10 days or 3 days. There's no time period at all. If he wants to do a recess appointment, he can do one. In fact, Evans' court case continued by saying, the text of the Constitution does not differentiate expressly between their inter- and intra-session recesses for the Recess Appointments Clause. Because back then, the Republicans were arguing, yeah, what difference does it make inter- or intra-session, whether it's pro forma or not pro forma? Now, of course, the Republicans have flipped since they're on the opposite side, going, oh my God, this is an intra-session pro forma, blah-blah-blah blob. Whereas the other thing was an intersession blah-blah-blob. How could you? But you know what? You guys already have a court opinion that you pushed for that says it doesn't matter at all. He can do this. So now, how does the politics of this play out? The Republicans are going to bitch and cry, and they're going to ask for a ambulance. And then at the end, what is it going to look like? They're trying to protect the big banks and stop protecting consumers. And President Obama looks like he's tough, he's decisive, and he's on the side of the consumers. We told you it's an obvious move. Now that President Obama has done it, he's like, oh yeah, that feels pretty good. Yeah, Okay, yeah. All right. You see that? I didn't get hurt. The Republicans hit me and I swatted it away, and so what? I know, we've been telling you that for 3 years. Hit him. Don't try to hit him. Hit him. And you don't lose, you win when you do that. Look, everybody's excited. We're even excited that you did it, right? And we have been deeply disillusioned in the past. And by the way, when you go to discuss this issue, and the Republicans complain about unprecedented, are you kidding me? Unprecedented? That's what we're talking about? Look at this chart here. Okay, you look at this is the number of filibusters, basically, cloture motion votes. You see those two huge bars at the end? That's when the Republicans go into the minority and they start filibustering the hell out of everything. In last time the Democrats were in the minority, they did 68 cloture motion votes. As soon as McConnell went into the minority and the Republicans had the ability to do filibusters, they did 139, more than double what Harry Reid did when he was in the minority. And by the way, that really understates it, because on so many of these, McConnell goes, I'm going to filibuster, and Reid doesn't even bring up the vote anymore, because he's like, okay, I guess I need 60 votes for everything. So they don't even go to vote on it. So that 2-to-1 margin is actually way understating it. They're filibustering everything. It's totally unprecedented, breaking all records. So the least the President Obama could do is go, well, if you're going to filibuster every nominee I have for this position, I'm going to do a recess appointment. It's a clear win. President wins on this one, unquestionably. So it goes to show you all the things that we've been saying. If he stands up, it's a win for him. All this complaints about there's nothing we can do is nonsense. Of course there's something you can do. You're just choosing not to do it. And then third of all, as we go to the election, all of a sudden, here comes Mr. Progressive.